We have finally arrived. We are at Module 13, the very last module in the textbook, and we are going to be starting Lesson 1 today, which is translations. The pacing guide even promises this to be a very short lesson, a single day, with 16 resources. We'll see how long it takes us to get through it. A global positioning system, also known as GPS, is frequently used by people when navigating by automobile or boat. A GPS provides a person's location using satellites that orbit the Earth. There are about 24 satellites that orbit the Earth twice a day to provide continuous radio signals to a person's GPS system. A geographic coordinate system such as latitude and longitude can be used to help a person navigate to different locations on the Earth. The coordinate plane can also be used when moving points and figures to a certain location. If the points moved from the coordinate plane from point 34 to point -13, in what direction does it move? These are some of the things we're going to be looking at as we study translations today. A transformation is an operation that maps an original geometric figure to a new geometric figure. In other words, we're taking a shape that's in one spot on your coordinate plane and we're moving it to another spot on your coordinate plane. That is literally all there is to doing this. And it can be very simple or very complex depending on whether or not you pay attention to this. A transformation can slide, flip, turn, or resize a figure. The original geometric is called a pre-image, and the new figure is called an image. These are brand new vocabulary terms for me. I've been doing this for nearly a quarter of a century, and I have never heard of it referred to that way, so I'm learning things too. The graph shows a point on the coordinate plane that has been transformed. So you have point A is your starting point right here, and then the little tick mark there, that is called prime. So this is A prime. So your original point is A, your new point is A prime. You can see a little bit better there, I think, what we're talking about with that prime. Let's see if I can move in some. Hopefully you can see it good on your little devices now. Point A and point A prime. This was your original point or your pre-image, and this is your new point or your image. Our next vocab word is translation, and we're not talking about changing from French to English to Spanish. We're talking about moving a shape on a coordinate plane. A translation is a transformation that slides a figure from one position to another position without turning it. The textbook gives you a really good graphic of it here. If you watch it here for a second, let's see if we can zoom in and make it happen. What happened zoomed in? Yep, there it went. So when you go just sliding from one point on the map to another point on the map, that is going to be a translation. If you spin it, if you flip it, those are not translations. Those are something else. A translation only slides it from one location to another, keeping the orientation the same. And the problem here, they're taking the triangle and translating it 3 units to the left and 2 units down. Because if you take B, and you go 1, 2, 3 units left, 1, 2 units down, you can see there it is, B prime landed in that spot. The same thing is happening with A and C. All 3 points are moving 3 units to the left and 2 units down. So let's take a look at example number 1. Graph of triangle JKL is shown. The image of triangle JKL, graph the image of triangle JKL after a translation of 2 units to the right, so we're going to go that way, 2 units, and 5 units down. What we're going to do is we're going to take every single point, go 2 units right, and 5 units down, which I think will be right there. Let's see how we're going to do that with our tools we have with this one. So we're going to move through the slides. We're going to just scroll down just a little bit. You got your pre-image going on right here, and you can see the J is at -3, 4, K is at 1, 3, and L is at -4, 1. Now we're going to move all 3 of those points 3 units right, I think it was 3, and 5 units down. So here we go. J went 1, 2, it's 2 units right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have J prime. K went 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have K prime, and L went 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. L prime. So J prime's new ordered pair is going to be at -1, -1. Remember, you have to have parentheses. -1, comma, space. Don't forget your space. -1, except K prime is going to be at 0.123, 1, 2. So it's going to be at 0.3, comma, -2. And then point L prime is going to be at point -1, -2. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. And down 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have that located at -2, comma, -4. Hit accept and check our answers. Everything checks. Remember, with ordered pairs, you have to have parentheses to list them, and you have to put a space after your comma. If you do not put that space after your comma, the computer will mark you wrong. Now it's going to be your turn. Go ahead and pause the video, work extra example 1 on your own, where you're going to be plotting the new point locations, connecting those points with a line, and let's see, are they going to ask you to tell you what the points are? I think they are. Tell them what the new prime points are going to be. Okay, the instructions say that we're going to move or translate our subject 4 units to the left and 3 units up. So my first point is going to be point B, which we'll do is red, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 units left, 1, 2, 3 units up, and let's try that again. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 left, 1, 2, 3 up. Now I'm going to take and do a blue point, and that blue point is going to be for point C. 1, 2, 3, 4 left, 1, 2, 3 up. And then I'm going to do a green point, and that green point, that's going to end up being for point A. So from point A, 1, 2, 3, 4 up, left, 1, 2, 3 up. Next, we have to take and connect those points with a line. And let's see if we can figure out how to do that, because I honestly have no earthly idea what we're going to do. Hold on just a second. I figured it out. You click on one point, then you click on the next point and it gives you a line, then you click on the next point and it gives you a line, and then you click on the next point and it gives you a line. So A prime is going to be this one, and that's an easy one. It's located at point 0, 0. So we're going to put in our parentheses 0, comma, space 0. Hit accept. Next, I'm going to take and do B prime, and B prime is going to be at -1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So -4, 5. We're going to go here. We're going to click on that. -4, comma, space 5. Oop, that should be a 4 right there. Let's try to see if we can fix that. I'm going to delete and hit a 4. Okay. And then our C prime, that one is going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. So we're going to put that at 0.51. 5, comma, space 1. Close our parentheses. Let's go ahead and check our first. It won't. There we go. Check that. That part checked, and then check this. That part checked. Easy math. There's nothing at all to doing translations. Now we have a new introductory question which asks, how do the coordinates of a figure change after a translation? And we're going to take a look at that by clicking on the right button here. And it says to enter a 5 for the horizontal translation and a -4 for the vertical translation. So we're going to enter a 5 right here. We're going to enter a -4 right here. Whoops, that shouldn't be a 0, but I don't think that's going to matter. Let's try that again. A -4 right there. And this says press the translate button, double click on the last row of the table to add the new row that shows the coordinates of the translated figure. Alright, so we've done that. We're going to hit translate, and now you can see it has moved right and moved down, and we're going to double click on that, and now you have your new coordinates of your new place. Alright, that was pretty simple, not terribly exciting. Yep, not seeing a lot of point here. Now I see the point of what they're trying to do. Now we're going to do a horizontal of -2 and a vertical of 3. So we're going to take and change this one to a 2, 2 negative, and this one to a 3. And we're going to translate it again. And we're going to double click on the line, and now you can see where you have the -2, 3, you have the 5, -4. The first one is where you're going with X. The second one is where you're going on your Y axis. Let's do another one of those and see what happens. This time, no, I think we're actually pretty good there, because you can see that each translation, for this one, your X change is going to be a +5. Your change in Y is going to be a -4. Your change in X on the next row, -2. Your change in Y is going to be a 3. And I think that's going to lead into what they're going to share with us next. So let's fill in these blanks. It says when a figure is translated, what direction a positive value is added to the X coordinates, that's going to be going to the right. When a figure is translated, what direction a positive value is subtracted, that means actually you're minusing from both sides. That's going to take you to the left, not from both sides, but you're subtracting the point's location. And when you're taking and adding a positive value to the Y coordinate, that's going to take you up. When you're adding a negative value to the Y coordinate, that's also known as subtracting from it. That's going to end up taking you down, and you can see that happening all right there. Alright, let's take a look at this next video about coordinate notation for translations, and this is the whole point of that entire exercise right here.
You can use coordinate notation to describe the translation from point J to point J prime. The general form for coordinate notation for translations shows that a point x, y is translated to point x plus a, y plus b. The value of a tells how many units the pre-image is translated left or right, and the value of b tells how many units the pre-image is translated up or down. Point J moves 6 units to the left and 2 units up. The translation of 6 units to the left decreases the x-coordinate by 6, so the coordinate notation would show x minus 6. The translation of 2 units up increases the y-coordinate by 2, so the coordinate notation would show y plus 2. So the translation is x minus 6, y plus 2, or 6 units to the left and 2 units up. How can you use coordinate notation to describe the translation from point S to point S prime? Point S moves 1 unit to the right and 5 units down. The translation of 1 unit to the right increases the x-coordinate by 1, so the coordinate notation would show x plus 1. The translation of 5 units down decreases the y-coordinate by 5, so the coordinate notation would show y minus 5. So, the translation is x plus 1, y minus 5, or 1 unit to the right and 5 units down.
Alright, that was pretty straightforward. I think we're going to end this lesson here, and we're going to come back with this video here, and we're going to come back with part 2, where we're going to learn how to apply that information and finish up lesson 1.